Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Happy Messy Monday. Let me know if you can hear that sound machine. I appreciate y'all. We up. We got shit to talk about already, child. This is crazy. This is a saga, y'all. Is this Dallas? Is this like, how does this turn this badly? How does this turn around and turn this badly because somebody does something that you don't like? This is where the community is, child. Is this where the community is, that because somebody doesn't look at things the way that you do, now you got to issue threats against them? Wow. And these are pro-blacks. This part of the sound machine still acting up. Anyway, I got to change the buttons. I think I've used them up, but there's so many buttons on this thing. So I'll work on it, child. I know y'all are tired of hearing me talking about it. Anyway. So yeah, let me know that you can hear me. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. I got a couple of hours before I got to be signing on for work. Y'all make sure you don't miss work. Mods, watch out for trolls, because I'm sure they're gonna come. Because we got to talk about Nolan. And you know, if you don't follow, or if you don't go with the hive mentality completely and 100%, then you are off code. Tadisha, we're waiting for you. You are off code. And you know that is not acceptable. You have to believe what every other black believes, even if, you know, they sound crazy. Even if they have no proof, you're still supposed to go along with the get along. All right. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Yes, shout out to you, Trey. Shout out to all of y'all. Let's just get on into it because I ain't got all day. Shout out to BT doing his exercise this morning. I just came in. I'm eating my oatmeal. I'm telling you now, I'm eating. I'm still tired, but we here. Praise the Lord for another day. Anyway, so let me start here with this dude from Instagram, because he's asking a question that I was asking, which I'm sure is not on code. Where the Asian community? Where is the Asian community? I actually saw somebody in somebody else's comment section talking about, what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? He was half Asian. His mom is Asian. What are we talking about? What does that have to do with anything? And as confirmed, which we already knew, we already knew because by way of paying attention and listening, that the dad called out his son, Elmer, whatever his name is, Junior, who was at the funeral. And it's like, well, wait a minute. If he the oldest, Nolan, why ain't he named Elmore? Oh, yeah, because his dad is someone else. Where the daddy at? That's the other question. Where the daddy at? Did he come to the funeral? Is he still alive? Nobody want to talk about that? Nobody want to ask any questions? Okay. You're not allowed to ask any question, black people, FBAs, ebonies, chocolates, whatever you want to be called today. You're not allowed to ask questions. You're supposed to go along with people like Caricature and Al Sharpton and Ben Crump, and you're supposed to just follow behind them blindly. Do not use your own brain. Never ask any questions. Just like y'all was wrong for not backing Cam. For those that didn't, you was wrong. You was off code. For not listening to Obama, you was off code. Okay. That's why we try to find out what the hell the code means. I mean, it flip-flops, it don't make any sense. However, y'all are supposed to know. Shout out to everybody that's here, talking to the colored community right now. Y'all supposed to know, okay? I just be trying to help out. So this man asks, where's the Asian community to protest for Nolan Wells, whose mother is Asian? And why doesn't the black community ask for the leaders of Eric Washington to be brought to justice? I don't know who Eric Washington is. I cannot keep up with all of this. But it might be a valid question, but I'm going to go out on a limb and assume, rest in peace to Eric Washington, right? But I'm going to assume that Eric Washington was not taken on up out of here by the oppressor and by a person that was non-black. I'm going to go out on a limb. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm not, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say whoever is accused of taking out Eric Washington is not an oppressor and they are not white. I'll let y'all fill me in on that. All right. Let's hear what he has to say here.
Black people. Let me show y'all two things. One, Nolan Wells is half Asian. Where is the Asian community asking on behalf of his mother, who is Asian, What happened to her son?
Yeah, one thing I know about my Asian brothers and sisters, they're not fucking idiots. Take that how you want to take it. Asian people are people of logic, respect, and they don't participate in such foolishness. Hope that helps.
But if he would have happened to live and became famous, the Asian community would be claiming him.
Yo, what's wrong with y'all? It's about claiming something. Nigga, you didn't know this boy existed until he so happened to disappear. And now you want to be like, well, the Asians aren't out protesting with us. Yeah, and they make more money annually. They have better financial stability and better homes. Why would the Asian community ever want to emulate you people? I don't know what the fuck to say. That's what I'm talking about. These niggas don't want better. They just want to be victims. Thank God he has an Asian mom.
But they're not saying nothing.
Anything.
Black people.
All right. Keolani says, as a spokesman for the, okay, we got a Asian Pacific Islander in the building. As a spokesman for the Asian Pacific Islander race, we have to sit on the sideline because Nolan was seen on the shore after White's boat left, and we don't believe in teleportation. All right, we're going to have to talk about that, okay? Put a pin in that. Come back to me when we get to that part of the show, okay? Thank you, though, for being here. We got representation, y'all, all right? So when we ask the question, not from a perspective of we expect Asians to do anything, because one, that's just not their stilo. Two, Black people are supposed to be boycotting Asians. Because like I always say, Black people like to jump out into things and not think things through. Now, I know I've seen one or two videos where people are saying that the Asian community is suffering because of this alleged Asian boycott, of which I don't believe that is true at all. Because the places that the boycott needs to be done is in the communities where they're mainly Black people who are downtrodden, I shall say, and that community, or the people that have the stores and the gas stations and all that stuff, are not kind to them. I'm being very nice right now. They're not being kind to them. And yet they still continue to go into those stores, like where Cyrus went into that store and they were profiling him. They clearly were profiling him, clearly. And yet I'm sure that wasn't the first time, and I'm sure that they kept going in there. Okay, I'm just saying. So now, rest in peace to Cyrus. Now we're over here with Nolan, and now it's immediately the white people did it with no proof. Okay, and all I've ever said is you cannot be saying this shit with no proof. So if they do come out and start suing people for defamation, I get it. I completely understand. We know that the boys was getting death threats. They said that. But why? For why? Like, you have no reason to do that. There's no reason to do that. Let the shit autopsy's still not even done. Y'all out here threatening people because they don't believe what you said. So when we ask questions, this is crazy. It's crazy that we're not on code when we ask questions, because it doesn't make sense in the community for some reason to ask questions. It's just go out there and jump over a cliff, break your leg, then ask questions. How can I not break my leg if I jump over a cliff? Well, you probably should have asked that before you jumped over the cliff. No. So now they want to, because they want racism so bad, Black people really want racism so bad that they're going to ignore what's in front of their face. The woman clearly we could see was not all Black. Why are y'all going all out for this, that you're now turning on one another to issue death threats? You never require anything until you jump over said cliff, break your leg, then all of a sudden you want to ask questions. No, you ask questions from the beginning. Nobody wants to ask any questions. They just want to go straight to everything is racism. And now, this man, at least I can hear asking another question about, so we just going to, so we take it, not we, So y'all take it on your back because I'm not in it. I'm not fighting for nothing. We just trying to figure out what's going on. So y'all gonna go and do all this, fight, protest, whatever you want to call it. And then, because this is led by Black women, I don't care what nobody say, it always is. I know Ben Crump is at the head, yes, for sure. But who do you think pushes this agenda? Because again, the reason for them to do this is, meaning Ben Crump and the Ben Crump for money, Al Sharpton and the rest of them for power, for political gain, and to make sure that Democrats get in office, because it's always about Donald Trump as well. Okay. So if you go ahead and you end up doing this, and then the next thing comes, which is now the thing in Wisconsin, then Black women be on the top talking about, we do so much, we do everything, we're in charge, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, who asked you to? Y'all do this shit for yourselves. I mean, let's be honest, 92%, let's be honest, y'all do this for yourselves. You're not doing this for anyone else. You want to have power so bad. You want to have political power so bad. They want to be over top of you sassy straights so bad. And white people, honestly, now I feel like as well. Just to say, look at what we did, look at what we do, and look what we have, and look how we got it. And enough of the time, it doesn't seemingly pan out. And, you know, I could be wrong. Let me know where the success has been. Was it the success of Barack Obama becoming president? Maybe. I don't know. I'm just trying to understand where the success comes from all this. Anyway. So yeah, somebody asked, but I thought this was different. I didn't watch this. So shout out to the dude that that came through and discussed this. All right. So his caption said, these people want everyone to be victims. Salute to the Asian community for not falling for this propaganda. Oh, Lord have mercy. I thought it was this dude's video, but obviously it's the other dude's video. Comments. This first comment says, as a Blasian American, the kid's death is a tragedy. Using his death to spread racism and hatred is beyond disrespectful. Ask him why Asians don't protest, because it does nothing in this situation. What would protesting do? His death? The investigation is ongoing. It's not even been a month yet, yeah. The investigation is ongoing. Protesting won't make evidence fall from the sky. People are just protesting now to kill time at this point. I didn't know if anybody was protesting. I don't remember them protesting outside of the funeral. I'm sorry, the pep rally. But you know, maybe I missed it. It says, I know he was mixed. So now what? Black folk all concerned now, but not about little girl influencer deleted last week in Miami. I remember the week, I guess it was last week, all these influencers was taken on up out of here. And then next one says, you all go and attack the Asian community over the Rick Chow incident, and now you expect the Asian community to have your back? Sounds like an oxymoron to me. Well, when I say it, I'm not on code. So I don't know. Maybe it's not just me that's not on code. Don't make sense to me. But again, like I say, it's just always emotion. Say and do something, and then maybe come back to regret it later. Don't ever apologize for said thing that you did incorrectly, and just ignore it and keep bulldozing on. Bulldozing doesn't work. I mean, let me give the ladies a clue. Bulldozing doesn't work. It hasn't worked with these men. It ain't gonna work with the rest of us who not necessarily are anything but people who use the thing between our ears and think, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? And ask questions, which I know asking questions is racist, but we still gonna ask questions anyway. How dare you ask questions? How dare you ask questions? Okay, well, dare me all you want. We gonna ask some questions, okay? So last comment says, weren't they distancing from and protesting the whole Asian community because of Rick Chow? So they remember as well. Okay. So listen, maybe the boycott is off, because I haven't heard no updates on the Asian boycott. I haven't heard no updates on the Target boycott. And I wonder what the next boycott is going to be. Oh yeah, boycott all white people. Oh, blacks, don't forget you're supposed to be boycotting white people. So I don't know who's going to work today, who probably work for white people. Shout out to the veterans, because y'all technically work for Donald Trump. Are y'all going to work today? Bueller, vets, military people, are y'all going to work today? I'm just trying to understand how this all supposed to work, okay? Moving on though, y'all, moving on. So listen, I know people feel how they feel about Ringo. That's fine. But he definitely be on some good information, okay? Now, he did this video yesterday, and then he did another one all night, and I was in and out of sleep listening to him. I haven't gotten back to it. But he says, I know how Nolan Wells died. I'm breaking my silence. And when I listen to it, I'm like, he might be right. He might be right. Oh, well, look, salute to you. At least you get to be at home, okay? But you still shouldn't be taking the money because technically some would say it comes from Donald Trump because he's the current president and he's white. You know, everybody hates Donald Trump. And everything is Donald Trump's fault. I want y'all to never forget that. I'll keep reminding you.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Again!
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Going, you're being a racist! Racist!
So anyway, so let's hear what he has to say, and then we're gonna move on to I got BCP and ARP. All these daggone acronyms.
So, how Nolan Wells died. I'm glad you asked that question. Everybody want to know. Okay, so this is what happened. Nolan Wells died on a boat, and he was thrown over. Something happened at sea. And based on all my investigation in regards to this case, Nolan did not die on Horn Island. No, that did not happen. You don't die on the island and then your body wash up on the shore. That's not how it goes. An audio tape was released. I didn't listen to that tape yet. We're going to review that later. I'm basing this off of everything that I've covered thus far, including last night's 6-hour plus live stream. Nolan Wells died on, yeah, I'm back, bro. I'm back. I did a video at the park, did my workout, and I put a timestamp on that video that I did in the park. And some of y'all probably like, you didn't go to the park to my GoPro, and you're gonna see Nolan Wells died on a boat. He was on a boat. He died. However he died had to involve either alcohol, some sort of alcohol poisoning, perhaps some sort of drugs, something happened on a boat. He died on the boat. Whoever was on that boat knew that they couldn't keep the body there. If they report it, they're all going down. If he had drugs in the system, everybody on that boat was getting charged. Something of that nature happened. They threw him overboard. That's what happened. That is how Nolan Wells died. His death is being covered up. Now, I'm not pointing it to Nolan's friends just yet. And the reason being is I don't just want to accuse his friends. Now, last night live stream, if you guys missed it, you missed a heck of a stream because I was streaming for like 6+ hours. I didn't even know I was on that long. And I broke down part 2, 3, and 4 of Officer Tatum's video. That, the last 2, part 3 and 4, man, there was a lot that was said by Nolan's friend that really, it messed me up. Because I'm shocked that even Officer Tatum couldn't see the things that I was seeing.
So when, Tatum went down there and he did his thing, much like Nick Shirley. I don't know why people are mad because the man went down there to talk to these people, right? Clearly their lawyer was okay with it. I heard somewhere that the lawyer was there. I forget where they said that there was a lawyer present. So if there was a lawyer there, that's on him, right? I don't know about Tristan, but Warren had a lawyer there from my understanding. But let me toss in an allegedly. So if his lawyer was there and he allowed him to speak, whatever. I don't understand why everybody is mad at Tatum because he went down there and let these people speak while everyone else is out here saying whatever the fuck they want to, with clearly just lying and saying shit. I ain't naming no names, but child, we already know. Anyway, so I don't know what he saw in 3 and 4. I'm not about to listen to all this. No, I'll have to skim through the 6-hour as I go through the day today. But this theory makes sense more than anything else thus far. I'm not saying it's true. All I'm saying is it makes more sense. Because if there's thousands of people, hundreds to thousands of people on Horn Island celebrating, and they all there until they left, and then they all tool out from the boat. Nobody saw anything. Nobody else saw him anywhere. But if he did end up getting on the boat, which I'm saying, there's still some questions between Katie and Wyatt, I think. And one saying, bring your ass, and she said he went. But they said he stayed. There's some questions right there, right? And where is Katie? Where is Katie? I mean, I'm not saying she got to come and talk, but where the hell is Katie? Nobody talks about her at all. Y'all know how that typically work when it comes to females and women. I digress. Anyway, so if he did go on the boat with them, because I gotta find this. They have this new audio now. I love how all this new audio comes out. So we're about to listen to that in a second, right? So if we all know they were drinking, I told y'all it was hot as hell. I was there, hot, humid as hell. You outside all day. Let's not act like they're still young, not like they thinking, oh, I should eat something. You know what I'm saying? And it got the best of them. I'm gonna say them. And then he passed out, or whatever happens when you drink too much, or whatever. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I'm thinking the same thing because Godfather Sports. I was thinking the same thing, but they're running with it, so we're gonna listen to it. If that's it kind of what Ringo's saying though, it does make sense. So if you in the water, right, and you boating and whatever, and then allegedly Nolan passed out or died there from alcohol poisoning, heat stroke, who knows what, and they don't know what to do. They already panicking for the boat, which they're boaters, so they shouldn't panic, but maybe they were panicking because they were drunk too. Let's not act like we didn't see them drinking. And then he died, and then they just put him in the water, allegedly. Maybe that's why nobody saw anything else. Maybe that's why he didn't roll up until however long, because according to one of y'all, he would sink to the bottom, and then you wouldn't see him until he came back to the top. That's what somebody said. I'm not a medical person in any way, shape, or form, so I don't know how that worked. That could be that kind of could make sense. That kind of could make sense since nobody else saw him. No one else has come forward to say, "Oh yeah, I took Nolan home." No other boater has said, "Oh yeah, I took Nolan home." We haven't heard none of that. So maybe. Now, this audio that just came out is allegedly the same audio that we listened to the other day when one of them kids called the thing to come get the tow. When they called the place to come get the tow, and they said, these kids are on Horn Island, blah, 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 blah. And, oh, yeah, there's the godfather or the grandfather. Everybody got a lot of grandfathers down here, which is fine. So Ringo's theory makes sense to me. That makes more sense than anything at this point. I ain't saying it's true. I'm just saying that makes sense. Now, whether they were on the boat with these kids, I don't know. But where's the person that says, I took Nolan back? Where is that? Where they at? So nobody took him back. Nobody came through to say, oh, I took him back. Oh, he was on my boat. Nobody. So he was just out there and nobody saw him. I'm not saying that it's real because it's the same audio that we listened to. So we're gonna listen to that audio, and then we're gonna go back to my video where we listened to the audio. And it's like, so they released it in pieces, and I haven't seen it from TMZ. And I know we not necessarily believing so much in TMZ, but they've been putting the shit out, right? I ain't seen nothing on TMZ. I ain't seen nothing on no verifiable news sources or places. So why are they going to put out one piece and not another piece, if that makes sense? So I think Ringo is talking about going to listen to this video, or this audio, I should say. So this is Hype TV. It says Nolan Wells' final moments caught on 911 boat call with friends. And this is all allegedly. This is all allegedly, child, because they just started with this last night. And I'm always like, well, where y'all get this audio from? And how come they didn't give it all to us? Amazing. How come they didn't give it all to us the first time that they gave the rest? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's listen to it.
Reporting live from My Beach Club, Fight Plus News, I'm John Opp.
Okay. Oh my God. Hey, let me keep it normal pace. So this is it. So remember, this is the audio we listened to the other day. Okay. Oh my God.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you? Of course. How far is the water coming up, sir?
Breaking news coming out of Mississippi.
You hear that now? Hold on. Let me go ahead and bring my video up. Hold on, y'all. Let me just bring it right up because this is crazy. Now all of a sudden, there's all this shit in the background, like we don't have the damn video, and everybody else don't have the audio. Let me call it the audio. So we did that live stream. Was it the forensic expert live stream? I think it was this lady's name. Hold on a second. This is they were talking to, sure. No, they were talking to, what's his name still? Yeah. I should already brought it up. I apologize. Let me let this play while I find the video. Or go to, let me find TMZ. That's what I'll do.
Mississippi. A little over 20 days after Nolan Wells' disappearance and death, there now appears to be a major break in the case that the public is finally hearing. Yesterday, we would release an extended version of the audio call his friends would make to the Cito company when they alleged they were having issues with their boat and was sinking.
Okay,
how many adults on board?
There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here is over the age of 21.
Sir, that was not the question.
Now, this version we shared, originally obtained by TMZ, would only capture when you first hear the driver of the boat speak with the operator. Now, late Saturday night.
Okay, well, why would they not give us everything? I mean, seriously, why would they not give us everything? This is what I'm saying. These people be coming out here talking about, oh yeah, there's new video. Where you get it from? How come nobody ever says where they got it from? Because you heard him say a second ago, the one we got from TMZ, I'm telling you, I'm looking at TMZ right now. Ain't nothing on here. And you know TMZ gonna tell it, chap. You know they're gonna tell it.
Capture when you first hear the driver of the boat speak with the operator. Now, late Saturday night, local outlet WLOX would go on to release a completely unedited version.
WLOX. All right, let's see. WLOX. That's the local news station. Why ain't TMZ talking about it? MDMR releases call audio from boat in Nolan Wells case. Yeah, it's on here. It's on here. Hold on. Hold on.
Lex News Now at 10. I'm Mackenzie Martin. We received audio from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources on Friday related to the Nolan Wells case. That recording, a call made from a teen on a boat at Horn Island on July 4th at around 4 p.m. to a private towing company. Wells traveled out on that boat with friends for the holiday, but he did not return with them. He was reported missing that night, and his body was found just off the island 2 days later. Let's listen to that call.
Right, looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
Yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in 17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
Yep, I just need you to answer these questions so I can get you over to the captain.
Okay.
How many adults on board?
There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here is over the age of 21.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there a person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat?
Hello?
Is there a living person, someone breathing on the boat? Is there anybody on the boat?
Yes, there's lots of people breathing on the boat.
All right, how many people, sir?
Like 7.
Ultimately, Cito says it did not end up towing the boat. Cito said in a statement released to NBC News, before assistance was rendered, the vessel owner advised that Cito was no longer needed because help had already been obtained. Cito's involvement concluded at that point. The investigation into 18-year-old Nolan Wells' death is ongoing, according to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. The full version of the call can be heard on our website, WLOX.com.
So she didn't play the whole thing. I think the whole thing is right here. But this is what they're saying it sounds like now. This one was this was released 11 minutes ago. What we just listened to just now. Back to this, child, because these people are really wilding out here. Like, this is crazy.
Of the call, provided by the Mississippi Department of Maritime Resources. And in the first few seconds appears for some that not only Wells was on the boat with his friends when they left Horn Island, that he also appeared to have passed away amongst them. At the top of the call, while hold music played, you can hear panic from an unidentified young woman who appears to say Nolan, followed by, oh my God.
Now there's a girl on the boat. Who's the girl on? Is that Katie? Child, I can't take it.
Now, as the driver of the boat tries to explain the situation regarding the boat itself, you would then hear a male voice in the background seemingly yell, wake up, wake the F up.
Detail assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir?
Now, of course,
Child, they just added this shit in. We sat, oh my God, I gotta find my video. Like, they just adding shit in.
of course, due to the conversations in the background not taking place a part of the actual call, the way some are hearing this could be challenged by those who choose not to see it that way. Now, as an attempt to better make out the background chaos, we will remove the hold music at the beginning in an edited version.
To connect you.
Oh, they removed the music. Oh, isn't that nice of them? Oh, I don't even remember music, y'all. This is crazy. Child, this might as well be Netflix. This might as well be Netflix, the way that this is going. Like, and there's so many people that's just like, oh my God, this is it. This proves everything. And I'm like, well, where the fuck, why would they release one video or one audio and a different audio now? And I'm like, all right, well, did we miss something? We sat right there and we listened to the shit. Like, why are y'all doing this when there's already audio out that we all already listened to? Like, that we all already listened to. Now all of a sudden it's clear. Nolan. However, I'm probably going more with what Ringo says is the theory, since again, no one has said that they took Nolan back to this point. Nobody.
Detail assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir?
Now, to note,
Now it's wake the fuck up. We didn't hear none of that. This is crazy. Anything to make this shit stick. That's why. Not that any of this matters. Right? It matters. None of this matters as far as the case is concerned. Where it does matter is out here in the world where all of these people, and I ain't gonna say who, want this to be racism so bad. They want this to be white people did this so bad with absolutely no proof. That's definitely a problem. But like somebody just said earlier, I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was. However many black men and black people, to be honest with you, that have died in these 2 weeks? Nobody gives a fuck. Just make sure you put all this over here, even though we talk about it. So even when we talk about that, whoever put that in here and anybody that's really listening instead of being a troll, like the trolls are here, shout out to the mods. Y'all know what to do. And instead of focusing what goes on within the community to improve the community, focus on white people and what they might be doing with no proof on this case, mind you. None whatsoever at this point. You got one autopsy that was explained like Child Opie explained it. And then you have a teen that's deceased with no information. Now people want to go and threaten Tatum because he went and try to get information to help people understand what's going on. All of them lied. Everybody lied. The only thing I'm gonna say is if it is a thing where if Nolan was on a boat and then something happened and they put him into the water, allegedly, that absolves Tristan because Tristan was on a boat with his grandfather because the grandfather said, bring your black ass, and he went. So while people hating on Trayston, people mad at Trayston, people threatening Trayston, he definitely was on the boat with his grandfather. He said, bring your ass, and then they was a hell on up out of there. I'm just saying, while people mad at him for whatever reason.
He as well personally can't help but to hear what many are now picking up, as well as potential's final moments, now that this version of the tow call has been released. Now for some, as the call
Wait, none of this version of the tow call has been released, so why the hell did y'all... Come on now.
Continue, there appeared to be other questionable moments in the background for listeners, as the boat driver identified as Wyatt Pyron continued to speak with the operator. Like at the end of the call, when you would hear the called sea tow captain express that he got a direct call from the grandfather Pyron, who would tell him that a tow was no longer needed. This for some would be the beginning of a cover-up to minimize witnesses.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee for service come up under Jerry.
Okay.
It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island. He's letting me know that his father's a member, but he can't give me any information. And he's saying the boat is sinking, and he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So
Right.
He said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he can give me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat. And
Is it
he
Jerry?
said that Jerry. Yeah, he said,
Okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back. So I'm guessing that they may have figured it out, because that's what he said. So they're in a panic and their boat won't crank.
Yeah, they're in a panic.
Since the beginning of this case, many have questioned Wells's friend's story, as many things appeared inconsistent throughout, and those online will call out the entire situation as being a cover-up of the death of another black teen in Mississippi. So what happens next? Given that this call is now officially 22 days old, we're certain the local officials and investigators have examined it by now. And given that agencies like the FBI are involved, we can also be certain that they have the resources to completely clean distorted audio with specialized forensic audio tools that can isolate speech. Now, according to reports, the FBI has perfected this ability since the 1960s as a way to improve distorted speech from wiretaps, 911 calls, and covert body wire.
Anyway, all right, let me go on over here to ARP. A Righteous Perspective. It says, Black leftist threatens Officer Tatum for exposing the truth on Ben Crump and Nolan Wells's parents. Shout out to the pro-blacks, always really pro-Democrat, liberal, progressive DSA. That's really what it's about at the end of the day. Democrats are never going to let a tragedy go by without getting the help that they need in order to get elected. If you're normal, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button. Shout out to everybody that is here, trolls included. Mind your fucking manners, because we don't play games. Shout out to the mods.
It's a difference between a civil rights activist and a civil rights attorney. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, this man only shows up if it's some money to be made. He only shows up if it's some money to be made.
What? Not Ben. Shout out to Ben down in where is he at? Wisconsin. What's going on with Carmelo? Any updates on Carmelo?
There's hundreds of people, hundreds of stories on social media of people that have reached out to this man and say, hey, can you help me with this case? And according to them, they never even got a response. But as soon as an airman is unalived and there's video and it, pretty much clear cut that the man was unalived unjustly, here he comes talking about, he was the best that we had to offer. Man, you don't care about that, man. All you care about is that money, that chop of that money that you finna get. I can't stand it. Y'all can love him, but to me, it's the difference between the civil rights activist and the civil rights attorney. If all you get it for is the money, that's cool. That's cool. But I want to make sure that some people can make the distinction. This is just a civil rights attorney. He ain't for the people.
Benjamin Crump. For everybody that said Benjamin Crump wants to get to the bottom of this, he really cared about Nolan Well's family. I'm telling you guys, they do not care. It's just a money grab. How do you know, Mr. Tatum? Well, Then why, when we reached out to Benjamin Crump, that they didn't respond to us, or they made some lame response after our 4th attempt to talk to him? Here's the email. This is the first time we reached out to Benjamin Crump. You can look at the email there, and you know exactly that we reached out to his team. We gave a generic media outreach where we put the information in there and said, hey, we would love to have an open dialogue. We value the conversation. Here's something that we want to know from his perspective what he has, and we wanted to deliver what we have to him. All right, we did that the first time.
Tatum, I don't know what your problem is, okay? If you are not in the D9, does anybody know if Tatum is in D9? If you are not in the D9, and you ain't on the side of all white people are bad, don't forget blacks, you're supposed to be boycotting white people, then he ain't trying to talk to you. That's why they made time to go to the NAACP convention and bring out Jamal Bryant and make this world tour with the mic in my hand, which is what they was doing. Never gonna let a tragedy go by. And then down in Wisconsin, from what I understand, they put the kid up there in order to get the bleeding hearts to go. But Wisconsin is just starting, y'all. Yes, Ben is down there too.
Here's the second time. 5 days later. 5 days later, here's the next one. What was that, a day after that?
Yep.
And then here's the fourth one?
Yeah, the fourth one is 5:30 in the morning, and it's basically saying, hey, that's still, you can go to the next one? Yeah, this is the first response I received, which is basically, or no, this is the final response, where they basically say.
Yeah, so the final response said, thank you for reaching out, interested in speaking with Benjamin Crump, right?
Yep.
So the thing is, we reached out to Benjamin Crump. We reached out to talk to Benjamin Crump. We didn't reach out to talk to the family. We only wanted to talk to Benjamin Crump. Put the thing back up there. And so as you can see on there, it says, at this time, the family is taking a break from media engagement as they continue to grieve and spend time together. Why are you talking about the family? I know they're taking a break. Benjamin Crump should be taking a break. He's the attorney.
Correct.
We only wanted to talk to him. They acknowledge the fact that you reached out and interested in speaking with
He is taking a break now because he's going down there to deal with Ruiz. Now, I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Ruiz is not technically a black name, but, you know, shout out to Ben Crump. He down for everybody. Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
Attorney Benjamin Crump, but says that the family is taking the time apart. It's a lame excuse for them not to engage with us. And people are running their mouth about whether or not they want to know the truth or not. We reach out to them plenty of times.
What we do know is that they don't want to know the truth. And again, shout out to Brandon Tatum. He's doing good work over there. I know a lot of people out there are up in arms. There's a lot of black folks, highly melanated people that are upset that we actually have somebody doing some investigative journalism and trying to find the truth. And the way you do that is you speak to people from both sides. You speak to both parties. You go.
Now, listen, Wise, I don't know what happened. I don't know what you're talking about, sir, but you're not on code. There's no questions. There's no questions. If you're black, you're supposed to just say it's racism. No questions. Don't resolve nothing. Don't work with nobody. Just, it's racism. Stick to it. Make shit up. Put it out there. Everybody's supposed to believe it. Don't listen to lawyers. Listen to ghetto boys. You know how it goes. I don't know why you're asking these questions.
Down and try to get an understanding of, what the place looks like, where the incident happened. You try to get the timeline, the narrative. That's what investigative journalism looks like. The problem is that we have a mainstream media apparatus that is not interested in doing that anymore. So a lot of people don't really understand what that looks like. And the fact that Ben Crump, who is supposed to be the representative of the Wells family, choosing not to speak with an individual from the media, that right there is a red flag that honestly should tell you everything that you need to know about these people. Because he would go to CNN, he would go to NS No One's Watching, because he understands and knows that they are going to give him these softball questions. There's not going to be any real follow-up, things of that nature. You definitely don't want to go over here where someone's actually going to give you some solid, hard-hitting questions. They're going to follow up. You're going to be pressed. They're not interested in that. He's not interested in that. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We got to keep going.
Of the kind of hate I'm getting for just interviewing. Roll clip.
Here's my message to some of you ignorant, melanated people that's in my comment section and in my messenger. Talking about I hate my people and I hate my race. And you want me to take up for people that's wrong just because they black.
If Harriet Tubman was alive today, she would blow your brains up without any hesitation. Your brain matter will be all over the ground. No.
When people start losing jobs, as they typically do in these cases, by doing and saying these things, I don't want to hear from nobody. I don't want to hear nothing, no sympathy, no GoFundMes, no nothing. Nobody seems to learn a lesson around here. Just go ahead and say whatever you want because you think you covered under the internet. That's crazy. Still, to this day.
That's him dog whistling or trying to allude to the fact that he wants me dead. He thinks somebody should kill me because in 2026, with Harriet Tubman and them sacrifice for us to have freedoms and for us to get along with each other, I expressed that and he think I should be killed. Harriet Tubman would kill me for being fair to people and not basing stuff based on race. Let it go.
You made $20 million since 2017.
I made $20 million
since 2017.
And never holding white people accountable.
Pocket watching money.
I was gonna say, what does it matter how much he made? There's a lot of pocket watching be going on. There's a lot of pocket watching be going on. For what? I'm telling you, there's enough people already, typically people that are liberal, progressives, Democrats, DSA, that's always pocket watching, thinking that it's unfair that somebody's got more money than you. Well, go do the work that they do and maybe you'll have that money. But then you got Z's out here saying that they don't want to work. We're not going to work. then you're never going to have anything if you're not going to work. I don't want to work 20 hours a week. I don't want to work 8 hours a day. Then you don't want to have anything. That's fine. That's why you got socialists in place now. Ma'am Danby, the girl in Portland, probably some other people that's coming too. Elect them all, child. Elect them all. And when you don't have anything because they say, you know, we working on it, we don't want to hear it. They got free daycare now for 2-year-olds in New York. Ma'am Danby did that. So congratulations to y'all. Now, if you have a 5-year-old, I don't know what to tell you. If you have a 5-year-old, you in trouble. If you have a newborn, you in trouble. They got rent stopped, from what I understand, at least for a temporary time. Rent raises stopped. So congratulations. Nobody can raise the rent. Next thing is going to happen, they're going to go and sell everything, which is going to revert back to Ma'am Danby, or at least his administration, for that other thing that he put into place. And then that means that he will basically own all the real estate. Can't imagine what's going to happen then. But anyway, that's for future. We watch in New York. Shout out to New York.
Sheesh. And then you're wondering why people are in your inbox saying the things they're saying to you. You cried real tears when a Nazi got his neck blown off.
Whoa. Charlie's a Nazi.
A Nazi. When a racist white person checks you, you do nothing, you say nothing. But when a black person says something you don't like, and I've seen the interview, you was willing to throw hands with them, but call black people violent. Make that make sense? So you know what? As a black man, I'm gonna show you how violent we really can get, right? You know what I hope happens to you? I hope a group of racist, conservative, flag waving, loving.
That sounds pretty bad. As a black man, I'm gonna show you how violent I can get. Somebody put this on tape. Okay.
White people string you up on the biggest tree they can find. I hope they get the biggest pickup truck with the strongest chain, wrap it about your ankles, drive 30, 40 miles per hour on the dirtiest, rockiest road possible, and have your skin shredded to the white people. That is what I hope happens to you.
These are some sick individuals, man.
All because the man did an interview. That's wild. That's crazy, y'all. Anybody that thinks that makes sense and is normal, please go ahead and take your ass on up out of here, because that's ridiculous. So because somebody did an interview, and now it resorts to all this.
And they talk about, white folks being racist. I mean, I don't know if it gets much more racist than that. Holy smokes, man.
Genuinely, that is what I hope happens to you.
Wow.
You hope I get tortured and killed,
drug behind a
like
car.
my ancestors, some of my ancestors, because I interviewed 2 kids, one black and one white.
Right.
Just interview. I didn't speak for them. I let them say what they had to say. I asked them the questions that y'all had and the accusations against them, and I let them talk on the podcast. And now I'm supposed to get drugged and killed and hang from a tree by racist white people. Make your mind up, bro. I'm checking and jiving for the white man because I want to be white and all this. But then the same people gonna kill me for no reason. What he really wanted to say is he hoped that one of them killed me.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be a hard task, my brother.
That's really what he was hoping. That's really what it is. That's a dog whistle that, hey, they're basically letting me know, hey, Tatum's, he's fair game. He's fair game. And if something happens to him, nobody's gonna shed a tear, so forth and so on. These people are sick. This is a sickness, man. Seriously, this is a sickness. This mindset that you hear from some of these people in the quote unquote community, they're some of the most hateful and some of the most racist people in the country. And what's really sad is mainstream media will not call them out. We're gonna call them out on this side of things. We're gonna do it.
So just say that the interview was an agenda. So you're telling me that what Ben Crump did, parading that family around all over the place, wasn't one either? Are you going to be honest and acknowledge that? Or you're just going to be one of the ones that's just like, boycott white people? Because this is Ben Crump's MO, along with the rest. This is Ben Crump's MO. Take a tragedy and make it be all in front of everybody and say that it's racism, bring up Emmett Till, Medgar Evers, the deep south of Mississippi, and that's not an agenda? I mean, are y'all going to be honest, or y'all just going to say, no, you just cutting for white people, which doesn't even make sense either? As much shit as we try to point out and say, you know what, we got a lot of issues to take care of. No, don't want to do that. Let's just wait for something to happen with somebody that's not black, even though, these people are part Asian. That's not his father. That's his stepfather. And now Ben is down there with Ruiz. But it's all about black people, right? Ruiz ain't never been black. Rest in peace to that man. The name Ruiz ain't never been black. But y'all that support Ben Crump so badly think that he's for black people. And he's not chasing money. He's not chasing money, even though he's actually an ambulance chaser. I've never been it's not about being a super fan. The question, stop with that bullshit. What I said was, You're trying to say that Tatum has an agenda. The question was, do you not think that Ben has an agenda? Because I love how y'all want to change the shit. That's not the question I asked. I'm not a fan of none of these motherfuckers. None of them. Just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. That's it. But that can't be it for, I guess, someone like you. Precision, not only precision from being a fan of someone or not. The question is, do you think that Ben Crump, Al Sharpton have an agenda? Yes or no? Can you answer that question? It's not about who you like. Y'all too worried about who you like and who a fan and all that bullshit. That shit ain't got shit to do with nobody. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I'm saying. Lord help your people. I don't care about liking. I don't give a fuck about liking nobody. I don't care about that. It's about what the fuck is actually going on. But there's enough people that seemingly for some reason can't see what Ben Crump and Al Sharpton have been doing it forever. I guess Ben is about to take over along with the baby shaking minister. Where the hell has he been? What is he doing down there with Carmelo? Ain't heard nothing from him. Anyway.
When I hear it, hey, it's got to be said. No different than if I heard somebody else, you know what I'm saying, saying some of the most reckless and crazy things out there. We're going to call them out as well. We're not afraid to do so. We just call it evenly on both sides. This is sad, man.
Officer Tatum constantly regurgitates white supremacist talking.
Child, y'all be listening to caricature. Somebody, child, hold on. Child, y'all be listening to caricature. Caricature. Okay.
So anybody that stands on the truth, speaks their opinion, is standing on white supremacist talking points, man. This is crazy.
If you close your eyes and just heard him talk, you would think he's absolutely some redneck out in Alabama or Mississippi somewhere. This dude is a cancer to the black community. He's actually a cancer to American society because having somebody like him who constantly validates white supremacist ideology is that.
Everything is white supremacy, child. If y'all go to work today, it's white supremacy, okay? Probably y'all, child, going to the gym is probably white supremacy. You know what? It has to be. You know what? It has to be. We already know it, but you know, the rest of them won't admit it.
The racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
And people let that shit fly. A whole room full of allegedly intelligent people. Oh, you're fat because of racism. Everything is fucking racism, child.
Dangerous. No, the dangerous are people like this guy who will continuously push a lie. Even when they know it's a lie, they will continue to push a lie. They will continue to cape for bad behavior. You saw this dude in the daggone, in reference to Carmelo Anthony case, continue to push a lie. Matter of fact, still pushing the lie. No, the people that are dangerous are the people that's afraid to tell the truth about what's going on in some of these communities out here. Simple as that.
Hey, y'all, this is George Cook at African American Force, and this right here is Officer Brandon Tatum. He's a self-hating black man who's also a black man and conservative. And he's always talking bad about black people and what he thinks is black culture, because that's how he makes his money, talking bad about black people, the white conservatives. Well, recently, he went to Horn Island with one of Nolan Wells' white friends, so-called friends, to discuss what happened on that island. And this man who always says we should wait to see what happened, let that white friend paint the narrative of what happened, and it was an obvious attempt to defend those young men in this case. And led many people to call Officer Tatum Uncle Tom. And I just want to say one thing. He's a sellout, he's a Sambo, but this is my Uncle Tom. And why do I say that? Because when Uncle Tom was given a chance to betray 2 runaway slaves, he chose not to and was beaten to death. This asshole not only would have told where those slaves were, he would have led NASA to them. So Officer Tatum. All right, y'all. Goodbye.
Wow. The language is unnecessary, but should you be surprised? This is TikTok for you. Should you be surprised that you have?
Oh, yeah, definitely TikTok. Shout out to Wise. Let me move on over to BCP, child. Hold on a second. Is that it? Hold on. Here you go. Oh, Lord have mercy. This nigga. Hold on. StreamYard, and hold on. All right, this is the same shit they already said. Let's move up to caricature.
I know what happened to this 18-year-old who was drinking that day on that island, but we're going to see, right? We're going to see. However, it appears as if what we are learning is that the people who claim to want the truth about Nolan Wales and what happened to him, including Benjamin Crump, the lawyer, and the parents, and the pro-blackities, don't actually really want the truth, right? Because the more information that comes out leading us to the truth about what happened that day, the more that it seems like it was not, again, some type of murder mystery or white lynching, that, again, this probably likely was an accidental drowning. And again, the people who claim that they want the truth, that they want people to speak out, that they want to know what happened, they want any information about what happened to Nolan Wales. Well, it kind of seems like they actually don't want any information, right? That goes against the narrative that they're currently pushing, that they're raising almost $1 million off of about what happened to Nolan Wales, okay? As you guys saw at the beginning of this video, Officer Tatum has been exposing the grift, okay? He has been destroying the narrative by interviewing the friends, which, you know, they're not hiding. They're out there to be talked to. It's just that the people that claim that they want to talk to the friends or that they want to hear from friends actually don't really want to hear from friends, right? They're pissed off that Officer Tatum is giving the friends a platform to tell their story, which obviously, again, they didn't murder Nolan Wales, okay? Again, despite the conspiracy theory that they murdered him, yeah, the friends, when they speak out, clearly are saying different. Officer Tatum also has exposed text messages from family members of the friends reaching out to Nolan Wales' parents saying, hey, we need to talk. Right, or that we should talk. Well, if you want to talk, I'm available, right? Completely going against this narrative that they're hiding some murder, right? So as you guys saw at the beginning of this video, Brandon Tatum reached out to Ben Crump, and Ben Crump, who has been talking to the media, he's been talking to anybody.
Ben Crump is busy. He's down in Wisconsin now.
Who would listen, right, with a large platform about what happened to Nolan Wales, okay, and how they're looking for more information and how they want to know more, blah, 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 blah. Brandon Tatum, who has a pretty big platform, reaches out and says, hey, we want to sit down for an interview to talk about this Nolan Wales situation, and then all of a sudden, they don't want to talk anymore, right? Ben Crump don't want to talk no more, right? He don't want to talk about it no more, right? It's amazing how that works. Brandon Tatum is in direct contact with the friends, with Nolan's friends, has interviewed them, and the same people who are begging for more information about what happened. Anybody, please tell us what happened. All of a sudden, they're not interested in talking to Brandon Tatum, right? Who, again, is in contact with the friends who were there with Nolan, who knows Nolan, right? For whatever reason, they don't want to talk to them. They don't want to talk to him. Ain't it funny how that works, right? Ain't it interesting how that works, okay? Basically, again, Brandon Tatum is exposing the grift. And because he's exposing the grift, okay, the pro-blackities are really upset. They're really upset to the point where they're basically doing what they always do when black conservatives don't agree and when black conservatives basically push back against their fake racialized narratives. They're essentially issuing threats against Brandon Tatum, right? They're basically going on the internet and low-key dog whistling, okay, to the pro-blacks, with, again, threats against Officer Tatum in the most disgusting ways possible. Take a look.
You said it, y'all be able to see it. Before we put it out, you'll be able to see it. And that's exactly what we did. We did the interview. We talked to other boys, but they didn't want to go on camera, which for obvious reasons, because of stuff like this. Let's put it out there of the kind of hate I'm getting for just interviewing. Roll the clip.
Here's my message to some of you ignorant, melanated people that's in my comment section and in my messenger, talking about I hate my people, I hate my race. And you want me to take up for people that's wrong just because they black.
If Harriet Tubman was alive today.
Oh, hell no, y'all. Are you... I know you fucking lying. For the regulars, what do we always say? What do I always say? How in the hell do these low testosterone males, people with nose rings, think that I'm supposed to listen to what the fuck they got to say? So y'all out here listening to nose ringers. Then you got a lip ring, a nose ring, a second nose ring, an eye ring. My theory My theory is proven right yet again. Wow. Y'all keep listening to these people. Go right ahead.
She would blow your brains out without any hesitation. Your brain matter will be all over the ground. No bullshit. Like,
that's him dog whistling or trying to allude to the fact that he wants me dead. He thinks somebody should kill me because in 2026.
He put his face out here. Oh, no. When they had it on the other channel, I just thought it was a record. Child.
What Harriet Tubman and them sacrificed for us to have freedoms and for us to get along with each other, I expressed that, and he think I should be killed. Harriet Tubman would have killed me for being fair to people and not basing stuff based on race. Let it go.
You made $20 million since 2017.
I made $20 million since 2017. 2017.
And never holding white people accountable. And then you're wondering why people are in your inbox saying things are saying to you. You didn't have real tears when a Nazi got his neck blown off.
Whoa. Charlie's a Nazi.
A Nazi. When a racist white person checks you, you do nothing, you say nothing. But when a black person says something you don't like, and I've seen the interview,
you got a long earring on the right side too. Remember back in the day, didn't one side of an earring on a man mean that you were ABCD and the other side meant that you weren't? Wasn't that a thing? I feel like it was. Did Generation X remember that? Because I feel like who had rings in their ears? Full Force, they definitely had earrings in. Do y'all remember hearing that?
Willing to throw hands with them. But called black people violent. Make that make sense. So you know what? As a black man, I'm gonna show you how violent we really can get, right? You know what I hope happens to you?
This LTM, goodbye.
I hope a group of racist, conservative, flag-waving, loving white people string you up on the biggest tree they can find. I hope they get the biggest pickup truck with the strongest chain, wrap it about your ankles, drive 30, 40 miles per hour on the dirtiest, rockiest road possible, and have your
well, it's hanging from the right ear. I'm just saying.
Skin shredded to the white meat. That is what I hope happens to you. Genuinely, that is what I hope happens to you.
Wow.
You hope I get tortured and killed,
drug behind a car,
like my ancestors, some of my ancestors, because I interviewed.
Wasn't there a man who was dragged and Michael Bird, was that his name? Dragged and killed some years ago from yeah, that was pretty bad. I forget where that was at.
One kid, two kids, one black and one white. Just interviewed. I didn't speak for them. I let them say what they had to say. I asked them the questions that y'all had and the accusations against them, and I let them talk on the podcast. And now I'm supposed to get drugged and killed and hang from a tree by racist white people. Make your mind up, bro. I'm checking and jiving for the white man because I want to be white and all this. But then the same people gonna kill me for no reason.
It's not for any reason, Officer Tatum, right? Let me correct you there. The reason why they feel that way is because these people hate the truth. They can't stand the truth. And because you're exposing the truth, and the truth goes against their race narrative, right? Their grand conspiracy theory that this was some type of white lynching. They are now basically dog whistling, basically trying to incite violence against you because of the fact that you are a threat to the grift. You're a threat to the narrative. And this happens almost every single time, okay? I've covered this quite a bit. The Amazing Bottom, aka the Amazing Lucas, does this all the time, right? Every single time we have one of these situations, and he's clearly wrong on all of them, right? Every single time, right? He's always wrong. He will do this thing where he will attack black conservatives, and at the same time, while attacking black conservatives, he will dog whistle to his audience that essentially there should be consequences for being a black conservative that falls out of line, aka that's not on code with whatever racialized narrative that these people are trying to push about some situation, right? Some false narrative that they're trying to push in order to divide the country, right? There should be consequences. Again, this guy has said this multiple times on camera. He's alluded to this idea that there should be acts of violence done against black conservatives who, again, don't stay on code, right? Because as a black person, you're supposed to be...
Oh, you talking about code too? All right, y'all.
On code, okay? You remember me covering that video about Carmelo Anthony, some of the reactions after the verdict, right? And there was one particular conversation featuring a black supremacist in which one of the people that was participating in this conversation simply stated, hey, you know what? Black people need to do better, right? Particularly black men, when we talk about violence and stuff like that, we need to do better. And the black supremacist immediately responded, why do you hate black people so much?
Stand behind that. Black men off each other the most in this country, and we don't even make up the population of this country. We are the smallest part of the country. But why are black men offing each other the most in this country? We need to do better as people. And I know y'all don't think that. I'm sorry?
Why do you hate black people?
I don't hate black people. What I'm saying, me saying that we should be...
Saying that black people need to do better, that's racist too. Listen, everything is racist at the end of the day. So if you black and you allegedly don't know what the hell like somebody says the think tank is, and you got your own mind, you are a white supremacist talking points, because then none of this makes sense. Oh, well, maybe black people should do better. I mean, we are at the bottom of every single fucking list, basically, but ignore all that, child. Ignore all that. About to be worth 0 in 2053. Ignore all that, child. Ignore all that. Kids is out here wilding the hell out, taking out elders like it ain't nobody's business, going to jail, getting caught, getting let out, running through gangs. Forget all that. We got to worry about every time something happens with a white person. Every time. But ignore everything else. Like everything that just happened. What was it? Thursday to Friday, 4 to 6 people that got SHOT'd in Chicago. We didn't even look at the whole weekend. That was just Thursday to Friday. Forget all that. It don't matter. Whatever.
That's not hate. Saying that we should be better is not hate. No, it's not. I want us to be better as people. I want us to be... Wanting to be better as a person is not hate. If you want your children to be good people in the world, teach them to be good people in the world. That's not hating your children. That is teaching them to be better. How is that hate? How is that hate, sweetie? If I tell my children to be better than other people in school, how is that hate? When I'm trying to tell them to be a better person, that's not hate, baby. That's what you need to understand.
If you're saying better, what do you think is better? If someone is trying to attack you,
if you do better, or you want to do better, you know that's white too. That's being a white supremacist, to want to have money and do better. Listen, we be trying to interpret the code. Like the girl said, the mama, Nolan's mama and stepfather wanted to be around white people, and they were quite successful, mind you. She's a doctor, whatever the hell he do, they living pretty decently. I find it interesting that all the rich black people that be telling all the lefties, progressives, DSAs, and Democrats what to do, they all rich and they ain't living in no hoods. They ain't living around there, none of y'all. They ain't living around black people. But listen to what they say, child. Make sure you follow what they say. I know for a fact, remember when Steph Curry, no offense against him, Steph Curry said, don't bring that that neighborhood over here. We don't want that next to us. Don't bring that over here. You remember they were gonna build a I feel like it was like a public housing type of similar apartment complex or something. And Steph said, not here you don't. Now what the hell? That ain't right. That ain't right. That's rude. He not racist though. It's okay. With all his money, you know, he can make that happen. And he made it happen. I'm sure there was the rest of his community that made it happen too. But he's the one that was pointed out. Thank you, Rose. Affordable housing. That's what it was. He said, I don't want none of y'all. And that's not just black people. He just said, poor people, carry your ass down the street. Don't be over here around me. Okay. Ignore all that. Ignore all that. Keep listening to these rich people while being upset about capitalism and consumerism. And they keep getting rich by the same people talking about consumerism as you consume and provide them more money. And then all of a sudden you want to listen to them, even though they have all this money. That's who you follow. And it ain't got nothing to do with Democrats? No problem. Whatever y'all say.
You don't think that black people have the right to defend themselves?
Definitely. But like most people had already said, both parties could have been handled differently. That's just the bottom line. It could have been handled differently on both sides. Bottom line.
Black people need to do better, right? Black people need to do better. And the first response from a black supremacist is, why do you hate black people?
That's always the first thing. You a white supremacist, you a this, you a that. All right, y'all, whatever you say. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go figure it the fuck out. But what I'm talking about is the fucking truth, okay? If y'all want to look at it your way, look at it your way. I honestly don't give a fuck. I'm going to look at it my way. I'm going to ask fucking questions. Y'all go with Think Tank all you want to. Y'all listen to people like Caricature all you want to. Keep listening to Ricky and Clown and Rolly. Listen to all of them. Listen to all of those rich people that you make rich until they do what Nicki Minaj did and then decide that they're conservative. Y'all keep rocking with them. Then you're going to be mad and say, we made you. Because y'all don't be asking no questions.
Yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty tether, where you fleeing to? Musty tether, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty tether, where you fleeing to? I got into my Uber, what did I see?
Yeah, let's talk about FBAs for a minute too. All the FBAs, UFBA, Foundation of Black Americans, and all that type of stuff. But y'all out here cutting for an Asian? I thought it was boycott Asians. It's very confusing. The code is confusing. Boycott Asians, but go all out and fight and don't ask no questions about this crime, a potential crime. But it's he's half Asian. The mama is Asian. Forget all that, child. Forget all that. All right. Whatever.
I will never get over that clip because it really tells you everything you need to know about the low IQ, emotional lunacy that we're dealing with here, right? These are the type of people that we're dealing with. And the unfortunate reality is that these situations, whether it be the Carmelo situation, the Nolan Wells situation, it shows you that this is very prevalent, at least amongst a lot of blacks on the internet, right? Maybe not in real life. And I'm hoping that it's not like that in real life, but you know, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Like, you know, to me,
not my real life, praise the Lord. People like this do not exist. This is definitely internet stuff, which I'm not saying doesn't happen somewhere, somehow with some people, but this is all internet shit, as it should be. Thank you, Night J. She said chocolate malt ball looking ass. He does, doesn't he? I didn't even notice that. Shout out to Caricature. Choose Caricature over a black lawyer. A black lawyer. But people want to choose a ghetto boy over listening to a black lawyer. Shout out to Dennis Sperling.
It probably is somewhat prevalent in real life as well, too. But it just shows you, again, just the low intelligence that we're dealing with here, right? The emotional nature of a lot of these people and the racial tribalism that, again, they're not grounded in any type of reality or facts, right? If you are a black conservative and you simply state facts and reality, right? Again, they see you as the enemy, okay? They would rather live in delusions. They'd rather make stuff up. They'd rather make up lies and falsehoods and live in this fake world that they've created where, you know, we're still living in Jim Crow times, right? When we're not. It's like you guys.
We are living in Jim Crow 2.0. I don't know where you've been, BCP. This is Jim Crow 2.0, where a Democrat can tell you that you're so stupid that you can't get an ID in order to vote. And people actually think that, oh yeah, that's white supremacy. It's white supremacy in order to have identification to vote. Oh yeah, when you want illegals to vote, I guess that does make sense.
You want to be victims. You want to be victims so bad. And it's almost like these people don't have an identity without victimhood, right? Which requires them to always be obsessed with the white man and white people. It's crazy to me. But again, they claim to love blackness so much. I love being black this, black that. But they're
incredible side of the murder mystery story.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? After platforming Nolan Wells' so-called friend, Warren Hudson, to give his incredible side of the murder mystery story.
Is that Warren? Because, child, he don't look as old as he do on the damn couch. Is that who that is?
Officer Tatum is now going after Nolan Wells' grieving mother. Yeah, fam. Check out what this dude posted on his Instagram. Newly shared text messages show Nolan Wells' mother caught lying about not having any parents reach out to her regarding her missing son. Warren Hudson's stepmom, Ashley Cole, exclusively shares new text message revealing she reached out to Nolan's mother prior to Nolan's mother claiming nobody reached out. Nolan's mother later corrected herself on CNN. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, check out this dude. This is the text message. Christine, this is Ashley Cole. If or when you ever want to talk to me, this is my number. Now, why was it even
Who the hell is Ashley Cole? Who the hell is Ashley Cole? Anybody know?
necessary for him to post this? Okay, you want to post it?
Why was it necessary for him to post the truth? Why was it necessary for him to put out the truth? Why is it necessary to expose Nolan Wells' parents' lie? That's what Willie D is saying. That's the question that he's asking. And it just blows my mind that the same people who claim they want to know the truth, right? They don't want to know the truth. All they want to know is lies. All they want to hear is lies and conspiracy theories that confirm the reality that they created, the fake reality that they've created. That's the only thing they want to hear. Anything else outside of that, they don't want to hear it. If you want to know the truth, why are you upset when Officer Tatum posted this text message? The truth is that these friends aren't hiding. The truth is that the family and Ben Crump have no interest in actually talking to the friends. They have no interest in actually talking to the family, because if they do that, then that stops the grift. That's the actual truth. And because, again, these messages are a threat to, again, their racialized narrative, their grift. Again, look how mad they get. Look how upset they get. Why did he post this? Why did he do this? Why is he attacking the mother? It's not an attack. The truth is not an attack. The truth is the truth. So Nolan Wells' parents are just allowed to lie. They're allowed to go on national television and pretend like they want to know the truth about their son when they really don't. And they know what happened to him. They just can't say it. And they don't want anybody that actually knows the truth about what happened to really come out and say it, because then that stops the grift. So that's why they pretend as if nobody's reaching out to them, nobody's talking to them, nobody's saying anything, because again, that feeds into the racial grift, right? The so-called murder mystery that's not really a mystery.
Fine. But why was it necessary for him to insult a grieving mother? Why was that necessary?
How is that an insult to a grieving mother? So nobody else is allowed to say anything. Nobody else is so you wondered why they didn't say anything. They say something, it's still a problem. They say something to prove some shit that clearly is true, it's a problem. So again, it only matters what goes along with whatever looks positive for the Black Asians, the Blasian family, right? That's not no shade, that's the truth. The stepfather and the Filipino side that they repped in their social media, both of them, but ignore that. So no one else can say anything, and if they do, that means they just lying from the gate. But anything that Ben Crump says, or Al Sharpton, or Jamal Bryant, anything they say is the truth. Y'all, please.
I submit to you that...
Well, she lied, right? That's not an insult. She lied, right? That's not an insult. That's just a statement of fact. She was running around claiming that nobody reached out to her, or that none of his friends cared, right? Basically smearing them, and that was just not true. Why are you okay with her lying? Right? Like that's the real question.
Officer Tatum was just doing what Officer Tatum does. Throw black people under the bus at any cost.
Black Asian, Blasian, under the bus. Like, if you're going to say it right. The Black Asian, when you're supposed to be boycotting Asians. But I guess that just went by the wayside. How's that going anyway?
No matter who it is, what they're going through, this dude is for white supremacy. I'm talking about he is team white supremacy 100%.
That's what works on black people. Just keep saying white supremacy, and somebody is a white supremacist, Auntie Ruckus and Uncle Tom, all that stuff. Yeah, but then you want black people to be always behind other black people with shit like that, because you don't ever want to hear another side of anything. So just because some people have questions and they have some things that go against what you think, then all of a sudden that means that person is a sellout. Instead of saying, oh my God, who knew? Let's take a look from this perspective. Nope. Gotta follow whatever the grifters that go along with Ben Crump say, because that's exactly what that is. So just ignore what's here. Just ignore what's here for what it is that you want it to be. That makes sense. Absolutely. Worldwide, thank you for the Uncle Lurk. I appreciate you. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are normal.
He's like the Clarence Thomas of influencers. This
Clarence Thomas of influencers. So that's supposed to, Clarence Thomas. Okay. So again, anybody. So Clarence Thomas, that's the judge, right? He's Supreme Court. That man that's married to a white woman, because I'm pretty sure that's probably part of the reason in his decisions as the law. But like we always say, all the black women that's married to white men is okay. Ketanji is okay, and Serena and Venus is okay. As long as all the black women married to white people, it's okay. They good. But as soon as a black man, gentlemen, is married to a white woman or someone that's non-black, then it's a problem, and you a sellout, and you a coon. So, child, the sellouts and the coons, child, you can just get that any old way. And gentlemen, you already, Cam, thank you, 99 Problems. Let's not forget Cam, that they tried to threaten people to vote for her with her husband knocking people between the washer and dryer. Ignore all that. Okay? As long as the 92% say it is what it is, then you should go along with it, along with the race grifters. And as long as you go along with it, you good, right? If you question anything, you the problem. Never ask any questions. Never question anything. Just go along with whatever they say. That's how cults are formed. Y'all can have that.
Dude does not miss an opportunity to say something negative about black folks. He always has strong opinions about black people's plight. But he never, and I mean never, critiques white folks. Never. See, that's how you know he ain't about shit. It's one thing to critique your people. Okay, if you are doing the work, I mean, I guess you have a right if you're actually doing the work, if you're doing something, if you actually help it. But if you're standing over there on the sideline and just talking down on your people, you ain't putting no work in. I can see you complaining because you're frustrated that not enough is being done or things aren't happening fast enough, right? But to constantly just attack your own people, who else does that? Like, what other group of people do you know that has?
Why do you care what other groups of people be doing? I love when y'all try to do this too. Some of y'all. But white people do it too. Why do y'all care so much about what other people do? Always worrying about what other people do, then turn around talking about that somebody else is the racist, but y'all always worrying about what white people do. Then say that white people want to do everything that black people do because they just care about black people, right? And then you got Jamel with her straight blonde hair. Straight looking like, a lot of people looking like Kim Kardashian. Trying to anyway. But forget all that, right? That's acceptable. The spiders, the makeup and weave, that's all right. That's good. Straight black hair. When do black people have straight black? When did we get straight black hair? If we didn't put something in it, when did we get straight black hair? It's supposed to be kinky. We have kinky hair. Let's be honest, right? But then you're trying to make it all straight, and that's okay. That don't mean anything. That's not being white. That's not acting white. That's not white supremacy. That's not coonery, right? But sitting up here asking questions about a case that nobody really has any much credible facts about is white supremacy, child. Shout out to the code.
Like several, I mean, like really hordes of members of their group that constantly points out the worst of what they have to offer, their worst behavior, right? Because all groups have good and bad. But Officer Tatum only sees the bad in the black groups. He only sees the bad in the black group. He don't see the bad in no other groups.
All right.
Yeah, and Officer Tatum
the only reason he even sounds normal is because it's on 1.5. Other than that, he would sound just as caricature as he always does.
Regurgitates white supremacist talking points.
Yeah. So we get it, right?
Same shit, different Negro. White supremacist talking points. All you do is talk white supremacist talking points. It's all about white supremacist talking points.
Silly D. Instead of being upset with the fact that the parents are not being honest about the friends or the family members of the friends reaching out to them, right? Instead of being upset about Nolan Wales' parents not being completely honest, he's upset with Officer Tatum for exposing the fact that they're not being completely honest. But again, these are the people who claim that they want the truth. And again, that's what blows my mind about all this. Because it really shows you what the truth actually means to them. What they really want is whatever confirms what they already have convinced themselves has happened. Now, me personally, I'm pretty convinced that I know what happened. But I'm willing to change my mind if the evidence suggests that this was actually a murder. I will change my mind.
For those that weren't here, again, I think that Ringo is on to something with his theory. Good morning, Legend. With his theory that maybe something happened on the boat, and then they allegedly pushed his body, put it into the water, and kept on going. Allegedly. Because like nothing else makes sense if he was still on the island. So no one has come forward to say that, oh, we brought Nolan back. Nobody, none of the other boats. Trayston ain't got nothing to do with it because he went with his grandfather. But still no autopsy from the first autopsy to know what the toxicology says. Because as everyone can see, there was definitely some drinking going on, a lot of drinking going on in the hot ass Mississippi summer, July 4th. And I can say for a fact, it was hot as F first thing in the morning, humid as F because I was there. Hot as F, humid as F on 4th of July. And that was in the early morning. So that was, I didn't leave until I think 1 or 2. So that was early in the morning. It was already hot as F and humid as fuck. And I ate outside. So it was bad already. So it only got worse as the day went on. So being outside, maybe not necessarily drinking water, then you're drinking alcohol, not necessarily eating, who knows? Let's not act like people typically think about eating 3 square meals a day. That could have an effect on you. So if that was the case, allegedly, and then what is it? Alcohol poisoning, maybe? I don't know what it is. You get too drunk. What is it called? Oh, dehydration. Is that what it's called? Whatever it could be from that perspective. If you weren't hydrated, yes, maybe that is what it is. And then you passed out, and then they don't know what to do. Allegedly. And then he passed out. Maybe he wasn't deceased. Maybe he was. And then they, or whoever, I'm not going to say those dudes because I don't know, but whoever maybe then pushed him over the side of the boat. Or alcohol poisoning. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Alcohol poisoning, dehydration, right. And then potentially just throw him in the water. Yeah. Now, I'm not believing that audio at all. Let me be honest. I'm not believing that new audio at all. That stuff just doesn't go along with what we already listened to when it first came out, and it don't make sense for them to send something else out. However, the only thing that at this point that kind of makes sense is what Ringo said. Because again, nobody, probably scared. Now, I'm not saying that that's an excuse, but definitely probably scared and maybe just slid him on. Because we still need to talk to Katie. Well, somebody said earlier that Katie is not doing interviews, which is probably the best thing ever, child. I don't even understand how a lawyer allowed these kids to do this interview, except for Trayston, because it sounds like he went home with his grandfather. But if her information comes out, I would like to know what she says, because all we know is what they said she said. That one YouTuber that says that allegedly that was written in some format, some paper, some magazine or whatever, is that she says that Nolan went with them. They said that Nolan went with her. And that's that. That's an impasse. That's a problem. Which one is which? Which one is true? Which one is right? And maybe Katie need to be investigated, okay? Because if somebody said that there was a girl on the boat, who was the girl on the boat? Who's the girl on the boat? Somebody need to talk to her, whether it's Katie or whether it's somebody else. How many people were on the damn boat? That's a good question too. I thought they ended up being towed, but according to whoever, they said the boat didn't end up being towed. But I thought it got towed at some point and then it came back out again. Not all the way to Horn Island, but came back out again. Because I was like, whoever it is that towed that boat would be able to tell how many people was on the boat and whether it was a black guy on the boat or not. Ciao. Again, more questions.
Fine, I will come out and say, hey, I was wrong, that it does look like he was murdered, and we need justice. I'll be the first one to do that if the evidence suggests that to be the case, because my opinion is not forward based off.
All right, so he's gonna talk the rest of the way. Let me go back to Wise. I got about 15 more minutes, then I gotta get to work.
People out here who are spewing this, because you get someone that's actually doing the job that we used to believe mainstream media would do, which is to do real hard-hitting investigative journalism, and that means that
Yeah, that's what mainstream media used to do, but they're all leftists. I believe he OD'd. So now is there a claim of DRUGS? Is that what you're saying? They panic and DRUG on the boat, alcohol involved. Well, we know alcohol for sure. That's not even a question. But I didn't hear nothing. About DRUGS. So a friend supposedly told it. We need to know who that friend was. Who was his name or their name? I don't know if it's a boy or a male. What's their name? So if they told, then they should be able to account for who was on the bus. Well, how many people was on the bus? I'm sorry, on the boat. How many people was on the boat? Did you see a black guy on the boat? A Blasian on the boat? Did you see him? That's a good question. Who told that boat?
you speak to people from both sides. I watched the interviews. He asked questions and allowed these youngins to speak. He also went and spoke to a plethora of other people in the community. They chose not to be on camera, but he just asked questions and allowed them to speak. He didn't paint a narrative. He just allowed them to speak. So that's wrong now. That's, being, a rat and all these other types of things. That's a Sambo, because you decided to go and say, you know what, let's go and speak to the people out in the community and give them a voice and allow them to speak. Reached out to Ben Crump. Ben Crump has decided that he doesn't.
So, that's going to be probably the telltale is the toxicology. So I look forward to that. I don't know how long this shit takes. Somebody said up to 2 to 4 weeks. It's been 3, not even a month yet. And all this carrying on with it's true when nobody knows nothing that's true. Nothing. And again, people can believe whatever the hell it is that they want, and you can believe whoever is biased. But most of this information that's coming from TMZ on what happened and audio and all this other shit has come from them, or the WLOX, WVOX, whatever that station is called. And if a second quote unquote audio didn't come out from them, I'm not believing that shit. Like now we're gonna act like AI ain't a thing. We gonna act like people ain't manipulate shit. We sat and we listened to that damn audio. Then none of that shit was going on in there. Now all of a sudden there's clear wording. Nolan, please, ain't nobody trying to hear that except for people that want to continue to not be honest and just want to push a grift and take any old thing. Just like that video that Pascal put out where they were like, oh, that's Nolan, where they were fighting on the beach or whatever. Oh, that's Nolan with no proof. I'm not sure if it's true. Well, what are we talking about? There's nothing that even makes it seem like that look like that young man.
I want to do an interview, although he's willing to do interviews everywhere else in the country, if it's considered quote unquote, liberal media. These people have no shame.
So Gerard, they can say that it's 7. That don't mean that it's 7. That's all I'm saying. So if there was a toe, then they can actually think and say, oh yeah, and Nolan was there, or Nolan was not there. Right? They can say it's 7. That doesn't mean that it was 7.
Man, here's my message to some of you ignorant, melanated people that's in my comment section and in my messenger. Talking about I hate my people, I hate my race. And you want me to take up for people that's wrong just because they black. I have said from the very beginning that I support finding out what happened to Nolan Wells. Everybody want to know what happened to Nolan Wells. When I talk to the young boys, they want to know what happened to Nolan Wells because they weren't there when he apparently died. But you want me to go out on a limb and hate these young boys because they white. You want me to hate white people. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to hate people because of the color of their skin. I could have sworn that our ancestors thought that we could be identified by our character and get beyond skin color. But you low-life losers continue to use all of your energy to be mad at me because I want to know from everybody what happened to Nolan. Y'all just want to play the race game and I ain't playing it.
And with that being said, we're going to get out of here. He's absolutely.
Yeah, that's not allowed, Tatum. Child, you already know. Especially you got a white wife too. You already wrong from the gate. Because again, gentlemen, shout out to all the sassy straights, the black ones. You are no good to anybody until you are deceased or you become a criminal. This shows that again, they come out and fight for you and care for you and everything about you, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes time to have a fucking relationship or make sure you see your kids if you ain't together, you ain't shit, you ain't never been shit, you ain't never gonna be shit. All this fighting, all this bullshit is about Democrats, liberals, progressives, and DSA to make sure that they get ahead and get these midterms together so they can try to be whatever the hell it is that they want to be. I don't even know at this point. It doesn't even matter. But that's that for right now. I'll be back tonight on Ask a Brother. Shout out to the normals. Hopefully that in a moment. Be there every daggone Monday. Shout out to Jeff and for inviting me onto the platform. Y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new, only if you are normal. I see you all in the next.
And now another anti-ruckus rant brought to you by the community. Viewer and audio discretion is highly advised.
The community wants to take the word and hold up hoes, whores, OF people, people who put out STD-named lip gloss, people who have slept with anybody and everybody at any time, people who talk about the AB clinic like they go into McDonald's, people who just say whatever comes to their mind, people who make songs about scamming, people who like people to pee on them, people who like to hang out with people that could be ABCD, but because they have enough money, it's okay. And then say that that's woman empowerment. So to be a whore is woman empowerment, and that's who runs the community. Y'all stand up for whores, and everybody's just supposed to go along with it. People like Tigger go along with it. Eddie Winslow, whatever his name is, allegedly goes along with it. And people are talking about white people are the problem. Colors, white people are not the problem. I don't care, say what you want, white people is not the problem with the community. It's the fact that black people listen to famous people with yellow hair, pink hair, blue hair, nose rings, eye rings, tongue rings, lip rings, cheek rings, throat rings, boob rings. That's the problem. Liberals, progressives, and Democrats, that's the problem. Unfortunately, it always comes back to political, because child, none of these people have subscribed would be a conservative person, even though black people are supposed to be conservative. And I still would like someone to answer the question. I know it's not a video that people are liking. That's okay. It's still there to watch. Which ancestor would come back today and say, thank you all for continuing my legacy? Which one? Name them. Which one? Name them. Will come back today and say, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you for continuing all my hard work. You're doing spades, child. Y'all are doing spades. So glad that I risked my life so that you all could become fucking whores. Whores don't run my fucking life. They do not run me or my community. And I don't hang out with motherfuckers that don't make any sense. Y'all can have that shit. Y'all can listen to caricature all the fuck you want to. Fuck that nigga. You can listen to that funky tether over there that's telling you to your face that Democrats ain't done shit for you, and then turn around and say, keep voting for them. And then you want to turn around and act like white people are your problem when you got all these niggas in your face lying to you, and you still believe them. And then you'll make some fucked up excuse because you fucked up and say, but black people do it too. But black people do it too. And yet black bitches always looking at white people for what the fuck it is that they do, and then turn around talking about racism. Make it make sense. I still ain't seen to where, child, what is her name? Blonde hair. Child, the ESPN ex-person, child. You know what I'm talking about.
In the state of Pennsylvania.